Minecraft Civilization has continued to prove to be a viable way to represent both current and historical politics, so I'm on a quest to rank the different political structures that form in a children's game in the most comprehensive and most exhaustive way possible, video by video. Anywho, today we're talking about cults, and to be a bit more specific, cults formed around our stupidity as Minecraft players. Come on, what sane person would allow a cult based around wheat to become the crucial organization responsible for the survival of countless players? This being said, whether or not you consider cults to be a respectable fashion to run a civilization, the overall successfulness of these civilizations is frankly quite scary. But before we dive into how these cults work, just as you are about to dive into that subscribe button, let's discuss some history regarding cults as a whole. Cause yes, I could just rank them on my fancy tier list, but that would be boring and wouldn't hit my video duration quotas. Anyway, cults have been around for hundreds of years, dating back to the good old ancient Greek, Roman, and Egyptian times. Cults from these times are known as ancient cults, and they would gather a bunch of people and use the dedication of those people in order to reinforce beliefs that they believe in, oftentimes playing significant roles in religious and social lives of ancient societies. Following these times was the medieval era. During the medieval period, cults sometimes arose in opposition to mainstream religious authorities. These cults often held beliefs that opposed the Bible or engaged in practices considered contrary to the acceptable beliefs by the established church. The Cathars in France and the Bogomils in the Byzantine Empire are examples of such movements. In the many centuries that followed, there were more and more cults whose main purpose was to fight for religious freedom, mental health, and social control. Which brings us back to Minecraft. The cult strat in these Minecraft civilizations usually depends on a bunch of people dedicated to one cause. But unlike how in the real world where people died over religious beliefs, people die in this game because they don't believe in wheat, or the other 100 obscure gags that young adults find mildly hilarious. The thing is, if you are able to gather dozens of players over the sole belief that wheat will allow you to defeat all enemies, then you are basically invincible. One of the main pros of the cult strat is that most of your followers will just be there for a good time, or for the funnies. They are most of the time very ambitious people who enjoy the possibility that meme or joke will be impactful in the overall storyline. This means that their loyalty is far from frail, and they are, for the most part, reliable assets. However, this does come with some flaws. You see, because of the fact that cults in most cases are based around memes or gags, more competitive players are less likely to join forces with these cults, because in the eyes of people who play way too much Minecraft, cult-like societies will not allow them to win. And for them, winning is everything, because if they lost, their motives to spend both their kidneys on rent in order to not touch grass in the last 15 years would be for nothing. But the issue does not stop there. Because of the lack of tryhards, the cult strat itself suffers a large lack of players. To put it simply, if there's no insane player to protect the cult, then there's a high likelihood that the cult itself just crumbles under the pressure of opposing players. It's also important to mention that there are a lot of cults that exist in Minecraft, and more specifically in Minecraft civilizations. So the overall player count per cult is lower than what you would see inside other political strategies. Of course, if you're a cult such as the Valley of Wheat, who not only managed to get a decent amount of members but also managed to possess a large sum of land, then you can expect to do well. And this brings us to one of the most crucial things for a cult-based civilization: leadership. But more specifically, what type of leadership works best. Currently, the two best leadership systems I have seen in these events are a religious priest type system and a council type system. The religious priest type system is where everyone worships a given thing and is directed religiously by a given person, while the council type system more so reinforces the ideology that everyone unanimously creates what is the cult, and therefore decides for the cult most of the time in a more democratic way. And while they both have their pros and cons, most of the time one religious leader tends to work better because the general organization is just frankly better. The overall time spent making decisions is far less than what a council type leadership could offer, and it's that ability to get an answer right away that leads most of these cults to success. Because after all, they are not a government, they are just simply a bunch of teenagers laughing and having a good time planting crops. Now, although the cult strat is really solid when it comes to success, its sheer difficulty to pull off, and more importantly, to maintain, is what makes it less ideal from other political strategies. People are hard to convince, especially when you can't offer them the sort of protection or safety that other societies do. This being said, I am still going to place this in an A tier because what it lacks in power, it has in enjoyment and humor. If you're the type of person who just wants to have a good time with friends and is not big on the whole "we must be number one" or even "I love political drama" and just wants a laid-back experience, then I recommend the cult strat to you. And that's it for today's video. Be sure to subscribe and comment down below what political systems you want me to rate next. And with that, I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching.